Hello, YouTube. Something that has been spoken repeatedly is that all is okay for blacks now. After all, you have a black president. Do you understand how ignorant that statement is? Do you also understand that not acknowledging actuality is one of the key components to stirring shit? Nicely put, it creates division. One of the many problems with the land of the free is that it is fraudulent to its core, purposefully misleads the world into believing it is not diluted with the filth of wrongdoing. Then you have misinformed individuals with their personal gripes that further contaminate the situation because they hyperinflate reality to suit their agenda. They just can't tell it like it is and leave it alone. See, one of the issues is with the advent of political correct indoctrination. We are increasingly uncomfortable with the core of our reality. Even if we challenge our perspective and actively seek to widen our awareness, it becomes ever increasingly difficult to articulate our findings without muzzling ourselves with appropriate speech. Appropriate speech created by the ideas of others that many of us mindlessly accept as free from error. Those in the Black and Mexican community, well, we realize we are liberated enough to serve in the military, to go to war and die, but not to be instructed properly in the schools we attend or have attended. Then later in life, if we have the audacity to want to understand more about the history of our culture or America, well, we become potentially dangerous. Because once you start questioning and pointing fingers, then you are labeled a hater or anti-white. It is the same bullshit that decent people in white skin face if they call it like it is. They have their own unique issues. You see, they have to dodge the bullet of white guilt, but also get caught up on the insidiousness of feeling they have to prove themselves different than the other bad ones. Well, you know what I say to them? Join the crowd. Because blacks have had this issue for much longer, or I should say an associated issue for much longer in this country. Yet we do not see this commonality, but we run towards anything that can bring division. Funny thing is, most people, despite color, do not understand they are employees for the corporation known as the United States. They do not see that each day America is turning into a ghetto. Many say that it's already been a ghetto long before I was born. Some of our white counterparts have fooled themselves with what they think is a concise explanation of reality. Some of them believe that only minorities, by the way, that's code word I think for loser, can be packed into a densely populated area where there are social restrictions due to force of the state or poor decisions made by the residents, etc. These same foolish souls think the color of their skin will allow them to rebound from economic hardships easier than their minority counterparts. One day, they wake up and smell the stink of the ghetto, closing in on manufactured and manicured suburbs. The ones that fall for the okie doke of fear, or the ones too obtuse to put two and two together, or the ones that pray at the altar of superiority, aka racist. Simply think it's blacks and Mexicans, or whoever else they wish to pick on, running from the projects and chasing them into the suburbs. They do not see they have been sold a bag of lies. Many of us do not question many things that happen every day within our reality, like, why does the government feel that they have the right to medicate our water supply? We do not question the validity of actions versus the pleasantries of speech. We do not question why we are deep in the toilet. Do we ever wonder why? We are saturated with intellectuals who divorce themselves from the world, never participated in the daily struggles of the common man, yet their work influences our politics, hospitals, and schools. And I'm not just picking on them, they just came to mind. We turn the other cheek to the hypocrisy of religion. Our history escapes us, yet we are infatuated with the perks of the majority representation. Many of us think if we can only mimic them, we will obtain via osmosis what they appear to have. The sickness continues as some of the majority mimics the attributes they find favorable with us. They fail to realize that some of these attributes have been outsourced via institutions of commerce. Others constructed via the fourth branch of government. That would be the media. And yes, that's a sarcastic statement. As the world turns, other white folks deny this reality as they run from the images that are openly reflected in the media. Let's not forget what we all have in common with our white counterparts, because we're all in this together. We all play the game of cowards. We accept materialism, many of us. Commerce functions as the new god of America. Dazed and confused, we sit back as our privacy is encroached upon. We surrender parts of ourselves without examination as to why. We are whipped by community standards that violates the individual. The corporation has fooled us into thinking we are nothing but product. So many of us use erroneous thinking and employ vicious methods to devalue the worth of another, so their specific value increases. We are continually robbed of our dignity as human beings. If we do not do it to each other via our cognitive dissonance or our poor behavior or our self-destructive paradigms that we cling to, then we strip it, the dignity that is, off of the backs of our fellow humans via, but not limited to, advertisement, various industries, political philosophies, and apathy. We have traitors as role models. For many of us are just too damn lazy to step into the position of leader. Leading by example. Leading by getting ourselves together. We are cowards by proxy of our procrastination. Do you see a few of the things that we have in common? Because if I told you the positive things that we have in common, that would easily be brushed aside. But now that your eyes have been opened a little more to my view of reality, do you agree? Do you disagree? Will you share what you think? I hope you do. Thank you for your time.